Welcome to Astrology and Crime. It's True Crime Tuesdays. I'm astrologer Val Evans. Tonight, we continue our discussion about Amy Bradley, who went missing on March 24th, 1998, during a family cruise on Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. It has been 27 years since she was last seen, and since Netflix has filmed a new documentary featuring her family, online sleuths have been getting to work to find new clues. So we're here to help them. Sean is here, Angel's here. Thank you for moderating. KK, welcome. And Gibson's here. I see you're booking a cruise during Mercury retrograde. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. A lot of times, it's just the weather is a little bit, could be a little bumpy, but I know many people who cruise and they go during Mercury retrograde all the time. I know a good friend of mine who's gone during 2 tsunamis and the wave just went right under her. It's all in your chart. JR, thanks for the input there. Very interesting. And I did see some of what you were referring to. Free Aquarius. We're talking about air signs. So there's Libra, there's Aquarius, and so crazy that a Scientology ship would be nearby called Free Winds. So it does give one pause, serving as a floating religious retreat center rather than a vacation cruise. It is used by Scientologists achieve high levels of spirituality. Deb, yes, I remember. I think you were telling me this. My last cruise was during Mercury retro. I was sick on a cruise first few days. That's the other thing. You can get sick. I've seen that a couple of times with people that I know who have gone on cruises. It could be a seasickness. Could be getting a cold. So you just have to be real careful. The universe wants you to experience something unexpected. Last time we talked about the perp's profile, and I gave you 10 clues, if not more, or I should say the chart gave us 10 clues. It's interesting how we got the bells. The bells came in, and that just floored me. That I believe it was, I can't remember who was telling us there was it JR? It was you. The Wall of Bells in Coruscant, which just was crazy to me. So I think that's a clue. The clues that we got, yes, absolutely, it was trafficking. We were talking about a place up high, and maybe like up in somebody's attic. We were thinking about those types of clues. We got drugged women, and we also talked a little bit about the profile of who she was with. Tonight, we're going to talk about the night before. Cruise ship dining room. We're going to pull the chart for this time period. Now, I'm not sure exactly what time they were eating. Could have been 6, but I'm going to pull 7 because they were probably there for a little while, and we can still get some clues from Amy's last dinner aboard. This was the solar return for the crime chart. This is this year, and it looks pretty dramatic. And the T-square can really bring out things that people don't want to be brought out, especially for this group here, which are the Pisces. Now, I divided each house into a month. We're in this period here. We are now into the Aries period. So ding, ding, ding. Mars is the police. And there's a conjunction with part of fortune showing success. So there's access to somebody here. And the 6th house is workers. Saturn is possibly an older worker, older now, maybe somebody who worked on the ship in the past. North Node could be maybe a foreign worker, hopefully not someone who's deceptive, which North Node can also mean. But the police are going to be able to get to this person somehow. And it's not just that trine that I'm looking at, which is good. That means having access to a witness. But I'm also looking at this. And this is maybe somebody reaching out online. Maybe it's a website or something like that. Now, Saturn rules the 4th house. Okay. In the 4th house, this could have already activated a few months before. And now maybe the police are just starting to follow up on it. And why do I say that? Because Capricorn was activated March, April, May, June, July. July, right as Netflix drops, okay? That's when Saturn activates. North node in Pisces is foreign waters. So a worker in foreign waters reaching out to the police and wants to Cancer help. So it would not surprise me if maybe there are some new leads here, which would be really good. What do we want? We want to look at where Amy is because Amy's going to be the ascendant this year. She's going to be Venus, and Venus is in here, right in this stellium here, conjunct Neptune, showing, well, what was the name of the Netflix show? Amy Bradley is missing, which is Neptune. It's all right there. So this is huge. This Netflix really did, I mean, what was needed, really what was needed. Uranus is to be released, to escape. It's possible. It is possible that if she is still alive, she can be released somehow. It would be under extreme duress. And it's also a secretive place. Now, keeping in mind with Pisces and Uranus, this is the Navy, but it's also escaping at night. So somebody escapes under the cover of night because Pisces is nighttime. Venus is going to activate. It already activated in March, but it's going to activate again in this time period. So in October, we're going to see more about maybe Amy. And because Neptune is conjunct Amy, it could be we're seeing another photo of her, a photo of her in disguise. The Aries is really interesting too, because it could show her in a photo with her wearing red. Maybe she has red hair. Maybe she is posing with somebody from the military. Maybe there's something that has to do with the police. But if the police have anything to do with this, oh my God, look at this. There's a T-square here. Now, it also means that the police are trying to talk to maybe other members of the police. Maybe they don't speak English because Mercury's retrograde. Maybe it's a big clash of some sort. And it doesn't look pretty. Doesn't look pretty. So it looks almost like a war that cannot be won by the local police. But something is gained here. Something is gained this year. I really believe that. Deb, Scientologists look for members who leave church. They probably thought she left Scientology. I wonder if Amy knows people are still looking for her. I think so. Does Amy know that people are looking for her? Ace of Pentacles reversed. And a clarifier card on that. Maybe not now. Maybe she doesn't have the money to see. Maybe she doesn't have internet access. If she is still with us, the Hermit reversed. Looks like she's not a great card, but possibly she's looking to get out of the situation. All right. So before we get to the chart for the night before when she's dining, which is chilling to me. I mean, looking at this chart, I was going to call it a crime chart, but it's just an event chart when she's eating with her family. Soda Pop, on a side note, will you be able to do a crime chart on the Ellen Greenberg case? I just saw it on Hulu, spanned several years. I'll have to look at that one. Good. It gives me something else to watch. Yeah, I could probably do that this week. I need another true crime. People are asking. How would she be like when she's rescued? I'm sure she'll need a lot of therapy. Yeah, let's ask. Well, let's ask this. Let's ask about the rescue. Is there any possibility that Amy could be rescued in October or November of 2025? 10 of Cups, no, reversed. Clarifier card on that. 3 of Wands. Got a clue of 3 and 10 of Cups showing maybe some type of information is going to be revealed. I do like the 3 of Wands because it does show independence. So maybe it's possible that if she is with a family, maybe there's some kind of pro- progression or movement with the family that she's with. So if you wanted to put a positive spin on that one, hey Meg, did we already ask if she has kids? Can't remember if we did last time. I don't either. Let's ask. I think we did. Does Amy Bradley have children? I think so. I think she does. Or I think she had them. Yeah, because why Pluto is so prominent at the top of the chart too, showing pregnancy. So I know, JR, it is. It's heartbreaking. All right. So what I want to do, you'll have to bear with me here because I'm going to share something which I always get nervous about. I'm like, oh God, what kind of advertisements are they going to put us through? But it is, I'm super intrigued by the psychic, and you guys have probably heard of her. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Her name is Candace Starr. Have you watched her? I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I need to know what you think.
I feel like she meets this dude. It's like a sore thumb. Like he's just sticking out.
Okay. So that's the first thing. How crazy is that? Because we kept talking about going up high, and I hadn't seen this until after part one. And we had just been talking about the attic. It gives me chills thinking about it. So I was like, wow, so she's getting the same thing too, going up. But I was more thinking of up because in the crime chart, Aquarius means up high, and it can also represent the attic. So for me, I was thinking more when she got to this place, maybe she was kept in some place like a bell tower or like a tower or some place that was up high, like an attic. But for her, she also is, in her mind, she's seeing that they went to the top of the ship, which I thought was crazy. So that was one thing. I know, Deb, I've been talking about that with Jennifer Brazier, and she wants to look into it. So Houston may have a serial killer, same as Austin, 6 bodies found in Bayou. I don't think it's the same one as Austin. It seems like something's a little bit different there. So we'll have to check that one out. All right. So I wanted to show you a couple more things from Candace, which I thought was kind of wild. I think it was here.
It's happening, like not even realizing what's happening.
We're on a mission to give
Oh,
2 million people all around the world clean water.
Okay, so I don't understand this part because I thought they were on a ship. Why do I see them walking on land? I don't get it. Hold on. I see a car. A car's there waiting. I could see her getting. It almost looks like a parking lot, like a long walk up, and then a parking lot. I don't get that. I feel like solid land under my feet. I felt a car. I felt a car. And I don't think cruise ships have cars on them. So it's actually the group of people. Were they cults? And trafficking. I picked up trafficking, but I wasn't sure if it was like women, drugs. This is saying basically women.
okay. So you get the idea. Okay, let me go back to my slides here. So the other thing she was talking about was, and I don't know where it is, so I won't try to find it, but she was talking about gates that she saw they drove for a long time, and then suddenly there were these big gates. So I thought that was very interesting. JR, yes, I do have an email address. You should be able to go to it's the description or information in the description area for YouTube. Oh, yes, this is Candace Starr's information. Thanks, Angel. And I know. So why can Candace say all the no words that YouTube doesn't like? I know. I guess they're selective sometimes. So yeah, thinking about that gate. So what I would like to do is I am intrigued about this gate. Did Amy actually pass through this place? There was a big gate. Did she see a large gate when she came off the ship? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Gibson. Hi, Karen. Oh, you do? Okay, I was wondering what you guys thought. Okay. Hello, everyone. A bit late. I actually binge watched a bunch of Candace videos on Amy. She is awesome. Well, if there's anything we're missing or you think we should talk about, let me know. So I haven't seen all of them, but yeah, they're intriguing for sure. You don't see my email address. Okay, I'm going to put it. It is forensic crime solvers at gmail.com. That should do it. So she saw gates. What did the gates lead to when Amy went missing and she's in this car? Where is she being taken? Whoa. Now remember that's Scorpio card too. It's an 8th house. So 8th house doesn't necessarily mean death. Okay. Are there other people behind these gates that are like Amy? Yes, Ace of Cups. Looks like a young woman there. Something, Ace of Cups. Was when Amy first came through those gates, what happened? 6 of Wands reversed. So maybe the lights went out. She couldn't see. God, this is really giving me the chills. I'm not used to this. Will the people that did this behind those gates finally be held responsible? Yes. Looks like a woman. Is there going to be an escape of some sort that we're going to hear about that has to do with this case? 8 of Cups reversed. I'm going to ask one more time. Is there going to be some kind of escape that we're going to hear about when it comes to this case? Because we've had so much Aquarius, and that represents escape. Any escapes? Yeah. The people who did this. This is somebody who's taking action. All right. I'll ask one more time. Is this person who's leaving, is it a woman? Yes. So the woman which I meant is escaping. I don't know. It's kind of like, I got that no, I think. I still think it's possible. We are going to at least hear the word escape with this. That's for sure. Candace Starr said she passed out and signed a contract. Oh, you're talking about Amy. Okay. I have a human anatomy card. Jen says the card I pulled regarding Amy's current health, the strength card in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles indicating scarcity and poverty. Underlying energy was King of Cups. Okay. Yeah. So weak. Yeah. JR, yeah. Red. Are you talking about the death card? Is someone still holding her with little care, food, and feeding her drugs? Is someone still holding Amy Bradley? Ten of Cups, no. Maybe not physically. Okay. What? Valeska Paris was held for 11 years on the Free Winds ship? Okay, wait a minute. Valeska Paris. I never heard of this person. Okay. And that's through Leah Remini. Or at least Leah Remini is helping get her story out. Would that be right? Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. That's a whole other thing, a whole other ball of wax. She came out years ago. So it is possible. If it's obviously, we have to say it's alleged. Okay, so let me get to this. And this is my crime chart solar return chart. So we pull the crime chart like it's a birth chart, and then we fast forward it to 2025 and see what the crime chart looks like. And whoever these people are, could it be Sea Org? Could it be ships? It looks like there's some problem. There's a tremor there. It's a big tremor. North node and south node in a T-square shows being stuck. Something isn't working, but there is a little alleyway here where it's going through Uranus and Taurus, fast food place. Sometimes that, they show up in a Burger King or something like that. It's really going to be interesting to see now that we're in October here. See, that's September. So it was 24th. This is September 24th. So we're just in here right now. And then probably October is about here. It's going to be interesting because we're starting to come up on Mercury and Chiron. This is a group of people who are wounded. And I always like to look at the ninth house because, it's one thing to have this happen in the chart, but it's the other thing if anybody actually hears about it. So we want to look at, so Venus is down here and reps the house of publications. So this is publications and court. So we might see some kind of maybe more documents. Maybe the family is going to court and they're going to take Royal Caribbean to court. They're going to say, look, we need more information. We need to know exactly who was on that boat because these people are in disguise right there. And I think, let's see, let's look at the witnesses. Three. It's hard to. Okay, so Mercury's down here. Yeah, there could be a witness. There could be a witness. Maybe that's the person who's escaping is the witness. I'm going to need a card for that. Is a witness in whatever's happening around this Amy Bradley case. Is there a witness that is escaping? King of Cups reversed, and it's like the boss. Could be a death. Sometimes a reverse can be a death. Clarifier card on a witness. This could show somebody who, with a king, somebody who's in charge, but a clarifier card if somebody is escaping that's a witness. The Fool. So I love these water cards when we're talking about this. So it could be a young person. Yeah, maybe the king falls. And I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a lot of powerful people not being able to move forward. They're stuck. So maybe it opens the door for people who are, in jail, in incarceration. I mean, really, that's what this is. This is people who are in solitary confinement here, and they are stuck. And they've been stuck for a long time. Saturn is just an incredibly long time. But I like to see those blue lines, the sextiles. That could be something very good. The fifth house is important in this chart, which of course is the solar return for the crime chart, because it represents the family. So the family is doing well. They're able to get some kind of information. I feel good about this for them. It's kind of weird. I mean, after all these years, and now we're feeling good because of this chart. But I need to ask something about the family here. What is the family gaining here in the next couple of months? It looks like some big news. Some kind of something that really gives them more perspective on what actually happened to their child, their sister. What are they going to find out? Looks like there's a lot of options. Looks like suddenly they have options. This could be a female as well. This is a bored female. This is somebody who is just kind of like waiting around. Also paralysis by analysis, not being able to make a decision. So there's a female there who can't make a decision. And 2 of Cups. So could have something to do with the relationship. That's always what happens in some of these crimes, true crime types of things, is there's a breakup and somebody knows something and they come forward. They happen to catch the Netflix show, and then there you go. Yeah, it could be deathbed confession. Parents are asking the president to intervene. Yeah, Valeska Paris and others sued Scientology, not sure the outcome. I think, Leah, we talked about it. Can you ask if there's someone kidnapped longer than Amy? Okay. Hey, Teresa. Is there someone who was kidnapped in the same type of scenario where it was the same people, but was somebody kidnapped longer than Amy in this group? Strange. We got the 10 of Wands again. So, not sure. Doesn't seem like yes. 3 of Cups. So if there so many women in these cards, huh? But it definitely looks like a party that went sideways there. So could be some kind of festival party or something where people were taken. Not sure about the length though. Hello, Silver. How are you? Was Amy ever in Algeciras, Spain after she went missing? Let's ask. Did Amy ever go to Spain? I guess there were some sightings there. Did Amy Bradley ever go to Spain after she went missing? Page of Pentacles. Looks like yes. Could be a short visit. Clarifier card on whether Amy went to Spain. Ace of Cups again, reversed. hope that doesn't mean an organ, that heart, because I got that twice now in one show. Teresa, you said Sloan Bella said a crew member kidnapped her. She's on an island that nobody knows about, but she wants to be staying there because she has a son there from somebody. Okay. I just read the family had to have her legally declared dead to sue Royal Caribbean. Yeah. Okay. Mhm. Jerry, you think that if Amy went to Spain, she might have power in the organization? Yeah, it's possible. Possible she had to go under, you know, just pretend that she was somebody else. All right, so let's look at this chart for the dinner. So this is the dinner chart. This is when Amy Bradley and her family, her mom and dad, and her brother, I'm sure they were super excited. They always do really big things on these ships. You get decked out, you get a picture with the captain. Um, it's pretty fancy. And so they're at dinner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the fifth house because this fifth house represents the restaurant and bars. Okay. And if I got the time right, thinking we've got Aquarius here. So we've got a lot of people here. And what is being said? Like, I want to really know what's going on here. So this looks like a group of people. We've got, we've got four people in a sense. Could be more, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, the moon is the ruler of the MC, so that could be someone's mom. And Neptune is there, so maybe they're having some drinks. Okay. But one thing when you see so much Aquarius is people are talking about the future. They're like, well, so what are you going to do? And, maybe they're sitting at a big table and they're talking. And so what are you going to do after you get to college? And there might be predictions that are being made of, well, I think it's going to be, great on the ship. And this is what we're going to do when we, disembark and that kind of thing. But there's kind of like predictions that are being made. Not that that helps this crime chart or anything, but that's what the Aquarius energy is. And it also shows that there's a lot of things that are going to happen in the future. It's just, it's very, very futuristic. Now, on the one hand, these people, these diners, um, Sag is college, talking about college, maybe changing a major, or maybe she already graduated, or somehow with the Pluto there. Well, what's really interesting, if you put the Pluto together with the moon, this is a very, very famous family, or in the future, this family will become very famous. So you could see that right there. All you need is either Pluto and the moon, which is very famous, or if I had Jupiter there, it would be Jupiter and the moon, which would be very famous. But with Pluto and the moon, this is obsession by the public, which would happen in the future. So, anyway, who is Amy? Well, Amy is the lord of the chart of Libra. She's right in there. It's right in there with that group that's having dinner. And what are they doing? You can see this planet here is in the second house. Second house is eating. And it's very luxurious, I am sure. Second house is luxury. So they're in a luxury setting. And what I recall is how everybody was very interested in Amy. So Venus is going to be sextiling Black Moon Lilith, which means somebody who looks beautiful, which is Libra, and Black Moon Lilith, somebody who is tempting. This is Black Moon Lilith is in the first house, I believe, of Marilyn Monroe's birth chart. So something, possibly somebody who you would have an obsession about. It can also represent what Amy was wearing. Sometimes this is black, so could have been black outfit, maybe. Maybe that's the black dress we saw her in. Now, so let's get to the next thing. So this is what we're talking about. The fifth house. Fifth house is the family. And okay, so we also have Venus and the moon, which is going to show in the future this female is going to be very famous and she's going to be on the internet too, Uranus. And I like Uranus there because it can show that maybe there is an escape. Maybe there's some way to get away and to break. That's what Uranus is. It's to break. And Neptune is right on the kind of the outside of this little group here. I wonder, now she was into sports. She was like, but this is again, this is kind of engineering types of energy here. But so I'm intrigued about Neptune because Neptune is somebody in disguise and also conjunct the moon, which is someone in the future who might become famous because of the role. So there it is. And what are we going to do? Well, first of all, I want to look and see what Venus is aspecting aside from all the blue lines that, everybody thinks she's amazing and she's going to be very successful in something, which would be Plutonian, unfortunately. She's sort of like she's a foreigner. But I think she absolutely could have been chosen. Pluto is to be pregnant. But so there's Venus. I mean, I can't even believe I'm talking about this. It's so freaking off the wall. But look at this. This is a man here, and it's in the second house. Second house could be a guy who's also eating. Second house is eating. Taurus, also somebody who might be dressed very well. Dark hair. Now, Candace said that there were two men. I think she said they had lighter hair, but this guy has darker hair, and there is a square to Amy. Okay. And this shows something, this shows harm to Amy. It's a very evil harm, and it is very Scorpio related, and unfortunately is the R word. So this is extremely dangerous. And obviously it's not happening at this point. Now, it almost looks as if he is trying to talk to her, but he can't because of that red line there. It's sort of like he wants to get there, but he can't. He just can't. And I'm saying he because there were other accounts showing there were women who were also part of this little network. So let's look at the sixth house of workers. These are going to be the people who are working on the ship. That's what Pisces is. They're going to have maybe ship uniforms on. And what rules the sixth house? Neptune. So there's a worker there that's in here in this group that is dining, which is Amy's family. And also, what's Aquarius mean? It means to break up. So the family is going to break up. And why would it? Well, because you see the red line. If it was just blue lines, probably wasn't going to affect too much. But with a red line, that is a breakup. Uranus is also an airplane. So it would mean the family would split and some of the members would fly out of there. Because they just couldn't continue on with the trip, which of course is understandable. So we've got a bunch of people in here, and we've got this person over here that's trying to get to Amy, but this person does know who this is. And at 22 degrees, this is somebody who's very dangerous, somebody who could be into drugs, which is Pisces, someone who is also in disguise. So we could be talking about two people, or this could just be a profile of the one person that they are in disguise, and they are most definitely a worker. Jupiter in Pisces is going to show that we've got a lot of workers here. So they're all in there. And what's really interesting There they are. Um, okay, the south node might show religious, and these people are having a little problem here, right there. Uh, that's weird. This shows that people are very, very much in despair. These could be workers. There's something else that's going on here, I think. It looks like maybe could be a husband that has lost his wife. Sometimes Jupiter represents a husband with, um, whenever anything's like conjunct South Node, that's despair. And in Pisces, oh, they're crying about something. They are emotional. So it would seem like this is sort of a side story here that somebody's pretty emotional about something. And it might be one of the workers. So this could change the dynamic of maybe the staff somehow. I don't know. The sun is here, and this is the boss. This is kind of the person in charge there. And I don't, and that's the captain too. I wonder what the captain's name was because the sun is in Aries. That's going to be the captain. Let's see. Let me, I don't know if you guys know, but the captain's name on Rhapsody of the Seas during Amy Bradley cruise. Yeah, you don't hear his name. Good Lord. Okay, it starts with a K too, which is very Leo. I don't even know how to say this. Kjetil Gierstad. And it would be crazy if he was German, but he's probably maybe Belgian. According to reports, Captain Gerstad refused to make a public announcement or seal off the ship to conduct a full search for Amy after her family reported her missing, citing concerns about alarming the passengers. This refusal has been heavily criticized by the Bradley family and others. He was still working for Royal Caribbean many years after the incident. Okay, but so he's foreign. I want to find out what kind of name that is. Kittle. I know you guys will know. Kjetil. That's his first name. Is he Norwegian? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, seriously, Captain Hook. Hey, Lucy. This is a good one. Yeah, I mean, that is shady with a capital S there. Can you look into David Miscavige's wife, Shelley Miscavige? She was not seen in years. Something's going to come out about that. It has to. It has to. And the S cult is weak right now because Saturn is in Pisces. They don't have that much money, as much money as usual. Their main star is kind of not showing association as much. So thank you, Angel. Yes, please hit the like button. That helps this show. And join if you'd like additional content. She could have Stockholm Syndrome. Amy might start seeing things more clearly. Teresa, they know she's alive. Was she in Spain just long enough to take a ferry across to Morocco? That sounds very, very specific. I need to know more. JR, Amy moves around. Can you ask what the time period she stays in one place when moves around? Okay. How long does Amy stay in one place? I mean, it's kind of generic or general, but how long? Does Amy usually stay in one place in one location? King of Wands. So Leo card. And looks like a while. Clarifier card. Lover's card. I haven't gotten that card for a while. Interesting. All right. It would be interesting to know the name of the chief engineer of the ship. Yes, thank you. Because of the Aquarius there, you were getting engineer clues on the last show, right? JR, the captain sang a song about a drunk girl at a bar. I believe he referenced 7 drinks. Amy drank 7 drinks. Yeah, I thought Norwegian. Meg, Google says the name kettle is of Old Norse and Norwegian origin, deriving from the word kettle, which means kettle or cauldron. Me being Norwegian, I'm ashamed I don't know that. And also refers to a helmet. Of course it does. It's Norwegian. Thank you. That's great. Hello, Rowan. Do you see Scientology involvement? And in what way? Have you seen the interviews with Brad Bradley? He mentions possible Scientology involvement. Yep, we've seen it. Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. So, okay. Gibson, you said, Val Evans, my solar return 2025 chart, Libra rising 10 degrees is almost like this one, except Chiron is in Aries and Pluto. Well, that's okay because you know what? It's these solar returns, they're very similar. It's just depends where it hits your chart. So, let's see, almost like this one. So, do you have a T square in your solar return? Sometimes people like to talk about that when they get a reading. Oh, and if you are interested in getting a reading, it's a good time because I just marked down my my readings for October. So you can book a reading if you go to my website, astrologywithval.as.me to schedule. And I just put in a bunch of new times. I realized I didn't really put that many times in for you guys. So I added some more. And if you'd like to join, there's a little, click the join button, little banner there. And also, just in case you were wondering, this video is for entertainment purposes only. All right. And thanks for joining. And thank you to all the members. It really helps the show. It is not, it's not free to be a YouTuber. So this really, really helps. Yeah. Silver Girl. That's true. Yeah. I wonder if you're seeing something. I wonder if there's something that's going on there where you're, maybe you're envisioning something. Well, Gibson, I hope you do. And, Soda Pop, you said, go see it, guys. Death at Apartment 603. What happened to Ellen Greenberg on Hulu now? Unsolved in action since 2011. Okay, sounds good. JR, as of now, she's not moving around. Okay. All right, so let's get back to this chart. And yeah, so I wonder who this is. That's what I was going to ask. There is somebody who is extremely, extremely upset. And why do I say that? Well, because, let me just move this off here. Hold on one second. You're seeing a square. Whenever you see a square, and this is, that's interesting. A south node, K2. It's despair. It is sadness. And it almost makes me wonder. Now it's in Pisces. It definitely could. It's somebody who's working, I think, who's sad about something. This could be somebody who doesn't have any money because of the square to the second house. But what's really interesting is you're seeing Amy Bradley's family, okay, and they have access to this. So maybe it's part of fortune. So this is having a lot of luck. And this person doesn't. or is not able. Yeah, it looks like this person could potentially not have much money. Um, Gosh, I wonder who that is. Now, Jupiter can be a husband. It can also be somebody who is like a teenager, but it's in a T square. It's not just a square here. I mean, you're looking at whoever this is. I mean, this is another storyline possibly. And right here. So Pluto represents SA. It represents pregnancy. I mean, good Lord, look at that 8 degrees. That is Scorpio. And so, yeah, basically we've got the nodes going through there. And then Jupiter is big. So Jupiter is big. Pisces is mystery. So we're talking about a big mystery that gets stuck. And also, I mean, I look at it as part of fortune, but Pluto is pretty strong, if I got the time right, on the third house. And third house. So let's count from the sixth house. Okay, so these are the workers. It's going to be 12, 11, 10th house. So this is the 10th house from the workers. This is out in the open. They're not allowed to come out in the open. They're not allowed to be seen. So this might be people who are in the background. Maybe it's just because that's the rule. They're supposed to be in the background. And it seems like they're trying to get something. So let's see what Pluto is. Pluto is the Lord of the second house, which is money. So people are seeing this family, whether it was true or not, as having wealth, possibly, or they're just eating. I don't know. I think it's money. That's how they're being seen. Libra might be a good-looking family. Um, and this person really, like you could see the T square right through there. It's like wants to just cut it, wants to split that up, make it so that they're not as quote unquote successful. It's possible. North node. Yeah. Pisces, Virgo, definitely a worker. Let's look at the this is what we were doing before. The sun is the captain, okay? And whoa, look at this. Opposition to Black Moon Lilith. You know what? That's in Nicole Kidman's solar return this year. Her 7th house lord, which is Keith, squares Black Moon Lilith. I don't care. I don't care what you want. I don't care about our family. I just care about me. I care about what needs to be done according to me. That's this Black Moon Lilith. So you can see look at how it's in a big T square here. Probably hurts his career a little bit. But wow. Yeah, the captain, there's something wrong there. Something wrong. This is evil. This is evil. And you could tell this person is very powerful with the sun and Pluto. So interesting about that Pluto with with Sag there. Sag could be American. Pluto is just big. With Aquarians are very, very smart. So these are a lot of really intelligent people who are eating. And at this time period, and you can see that this is the captain and he is able to talk with them, able to talk with the family. I don't I mean, obviously he probably did with Amy, but what's weird is there's not really a direct connection with Amy. Now let's look at Amy for a second. Amy, and I'm just kind of like spitballing because I really didn't look at this earlier, but I'm looking at Venus. Wow, look at all this Aries. Okay, so it's possible that while her family is talking to the captain, she's talking to these people. Could be, um, could be like Belgians, could be, what's really interesting? Willemstad, which is the capital of Curacao, is a Scorpio name because of will. So, also, I think a clue. But what Venus is sextiling Saturn here, Mercury and Mars. This is a group of people, and they can see her, she can see them, and she is talking to them. Now, this Candace lady, the psychic, she was talking about two women, and this is Mercury is two. And two, you can also say with Venus, this is two women. So, two older women with Saturn in there. So she might be talking to these older women somehow. What am I trying to take away from all of this wealth that I'm seeing is I think that's the trafficking wealth that's behind the curtain there. And yeah, so I wonder now Aquarius shows interruption as well. So it makes me wonder if they got up early from their dinner to do something else. Uh, but also Neptune and the moon is a famous boat. So this would be a famous cruise, this one. Trying to think of any other clues I can get from this. Let's see. So Venus is going to be Amy. She obviously comes to harm here. And this guy, this second house, there is something that has to do with the finances and money. But I see. Yeah, and then also Pluto sextiling this. This is online trafficking. I mean, this is internet stuff. This absolutely is. And what would traffic be? Traffic would be Mars. This is trafficking. Traffic with cars, Mercury. So these are women who are being trafficked. She's talking with these people who have done this for a long time. Uh, so you can't really see any tension at this point, obviously, because she's just talking to people. She's just having her dinner. Uh, okay, Gibson, I'll see you then. Great, looking forward to it. Oh, JR, it just kills me. Kills me. Brad said his parents have spent all their life savings. Now in the age of GoFundMe, I hope he gets some of that money back. I hope. I really do. I'd love to see where to make a donation. I'd like to do it. Okay, you were just wondering that. Okay. If she crossed over to Morocco. Let's do a card for that. You want to know if Amy Bradley was ever maybe she traveled from Spain to Morocco for any reason after she was kidnapped. King of Swords. It's strange. I keep getting these kings and reversed. Or there was the emperor. He wasn't, but it's almost like he's under these people's thumbs. So it looks like a no. I don't think so. Oh, somebody just who did that? Linda, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Helps the channel so much. Good to see you again. And Linda, you love your true crime. Oh, she was talking to the women free winds around the time of the dinner. Yes, and that would be all that Aquarius. That's the free winds. I'm afraid to say that this could be related to a cult. I think this could be a cult. So, I mean, I'm saying it as if it's something new and you haven't thought about it yet, but I know you guys are already feeling that. let's look at this. Like, there's definitely despair of the cult. Um, this is an old this Aquarius here. I mean, that is something that is just it it's a fast, it's something that is extremely fast. I mean, you got the Mars and Aries. This is the car. So they put her in a car for sure, took her away. The other thing we could do is we could see where she's going to go next. So if we look at this is at 7 degrees. Yeah, so what would happen is we would slowly, at days that she would go missing, she would next, I mean, the chart would progress to Scorpio, and then this would aspect, okay? And then uh, it would definitely show trafficking and a lot of making, somebody is making a lot of money here. So these are the kings. These are definitely the kings. What's interesting though is if I'm looking at this, right, and I'm seeing trafficking, then I have the T square coming through here, and somebody is making this difficult. Um, so I'm not sure who that is. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 houses from the third. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but oh gosh, Jupiter, what does Jupiter represent? Jupiter represents Pisces as well as Sag. Hmm. Could be law enforcement. This is a church. Oh my God, you guys. This is a church. That's Sag. You probably saw my YouTube short and my Instagram showing the prediction of the Michigan church murders. And so it was just like this. So this is a church. This is a sex church. Oh, oh my God. Okay. Are we talking? I don't even like to say the same thing. I mean, this in the same sentence, but are we talking about a sex church? That's what Pluto and Sag is. Is this a sex church? Oh, I said that too many times. Okay, let me think about this here. Sun. It's a dark place. Clarifier card. This is a church. 4 of Wands. Lots of celebrating. Neptune Aquarius. You believe they were wearing blue. She was talking, yes, that's why the women from the Free Winds around the time of the dinner. That's disgusting. They should never have let those people on. I mean, and she was so naive. All of us would have been at that age. So we're talking about the sun. It's about having no power. This is about darkness. 4 of Wands. Celebration, festivals, having fun. 4. So there's 4. I wonder if there's 4 people that originally were working together here. Okay. All right. So Amy's solar return chart 497.98. This is around the time that she is going to meet harm here. And she has a T square. When you have a T square and it points towards the month that you're about to come into, you have to be careful. And I had something happen to me the other day, and it just came in so shockingly, I couldn't believe it. Like, you really feel like you normally have control over your life, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, I have my morning walk, you know? It's my fast walk, and I'm on the sidewalk, and out of nowhere, this huge, it's like F-350 or whatever, white truck comes barreling out of this one person's driveway and almost hit me. And I mean, my heart was out of my chest. I couldn't believe it. It just and I think that's Mercury square Jupiter right now in the sky. This is like drivers they're not acting right. Anyway, I'm getting off the topic, but this can happen in your chart when you've got T squares, which I do at the moment, and you can come across some very adverse situations. Now, with her, Neptune is going to be a boat. It could be somebody who has money. And at 29 degrees and retrograde, this person is probably a drug addict that she is having to spar with, or I don't know. But now the moon represents the eighth house of somebody who might have SA on their minds. And with Libra too. You know, I see Libra a lot, and I wonder if the politics have something to do with it. I wonder if there's another element to this. I mean, I don't even know anything about politics in Curacao, but it makes me wonder if there's a politician involved that is kind of, I don't know. Now, in her chart, yeah, so she's actually it's interesting how this is probably around the time that she goes missing, and then boom, right into Scorpio. And so Pluto's going to activate here, right here, and then in a T square here. This is chilling because we don't like squares with Black Moon Lilith. And it is something in the ninth house. She is obviously in a foreign country at this point. And with Sag, I mean, it does look like she's drugged. I'm sorry, but it does, because you could see Pluto. This all of a sudden this becomes her rising sign. It becomes every time you go through the rising or the zodiac signs, now she's going to be a Scorpio rising. So this is going to be her. And you can see here Neptune. This is a bad drug. Really bad drugs. I don't necessarily like this Black Moon Lilith squaring her. Don't like that. And you can also see, this is weird. You could see that what's the trine to moon? That's fame. You know, sometimes you don't want fame. And you could see this trine to the moon. I have that next year. So I'm not going to go on any cruises by myself. I'm trying to make light of it, but you know, you've got to look out for the times when suddenly everybody knows something that you're doing. In this case, everybody knew. Everybody, the light was shining on what she was doing. So yeah, not a great. I mean, it was 0 degrees, rising sign, so hard to tell. Sort of like the beginning of something new, usually when you see something like that for your solar return. Sometimes it can be very good, but with her T square there, it was going to be a big challenge. Her rising sign is Jupiter. And so you can see there is a square here with the sun. Interesting how the sun is somebody in power. It's a captain who didn't help her. So that shows when somebody is not helping you, when you see a red line there. Jupiter in the third house, and in a square, this is somebody who is, again, in Aquarius, can show somebody who goes up into the attic, goes up high, near an airport. The trip gets interrupted, it gets cut, and with Taurus, that could be weed. It could be she wanted to go get something to eat. That could be Taurus as well. Sloan Bella thinks it's weed. I saw after our last show, so I thought that was interesting. But also interesting about the part of fortune, which is hold on. Now, this is really good in your chart, normally with a grand trine. But isn't it interesting how people talk about two women? And that's in her chart. Two women. Gemini, they might have looked alike. Maybe they had the same outfit on, maybe the same uniform on. And these women acquire something. Neptune is in disguise. So we are talking about two women in disguise. I want to know more about these women. There's a lot of answers to that one, JR. But I usually look at Saturn or Saturn moon. Yeah, Meg, the ninth house is also churches. I know, it's horrific, JR. My God. You did, Jen? Oh my God. I had a woman throwing bottles at me on my morning walk and yelling that she was going to kill me. Bizarre energy out there. I know. I was thinking, God, should I continue to walk as, around the neighborhood as Mercury is scoring Jupiter right now? Yeah, you're not expecting to have something happen to you on a highbrow family cruise. Agree. I wonder who was the photographer. Seemed like a nice guy, but there were a couple of photographers there. Jen, take care on those walks. Keep an eye out. I started walking. This was yesterday that it happened, but I walked in the street today and there's like nobody in my street, so it's fine, but I'm just going to avoid the sidewalks right now. All right. So yeah, there's another T-square and another Mercury here. So two people here. Yeah, there are twins all over her solar return chart. So let's look at who these people are. I want to know who these women are. Are these women who were on this boat, are they ever going to be caught? Yeah, Angel, everyone is misunderstanding everything at the moment too. That's Mercury in a square. Yeah, if something can be taken the wrong way, it will be, especially after this show. But who are these women who looked alike that were in Amy's solar return chart in 97, 98 in her chart? Magician. Somebody who wanted to appear and disappear. Somebody, whenever I see that, this is somebody who hides behind a disguise. And let's see, clarifier card on who these women are. Knight of Swords. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be caught. I did ask if they were going to be caught, so it's possible they might actually be caught, or karma will get them. Maybe they'll get caught by karma. Oh my gosh! All right, well, that's all I have for tonight. But thank you for joining me, and I'm going to probably look at that other documentary that Soda Pop recommended, and I hope you do too if you get Netflix. And if you don't, I'll tell you all about it. And we're going to continue monitoring this. We'll see what's happening in the next 2 months with Amy. It looks like there's some type of new clues. So thanks, Gibson. And great to see you all. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Shauna. And I'll see you next time.